Hi there, it's Jenny from Ads Uncorked, and I am here today to give you just a quick, actionable little video tutorial. My goal for today is to walk you through Facebook Ads Manager, as if you've been behind the scenes within Ads Manager over the last couple months, couple years, you'll see that it changes dramatically over time. So anyway, just kind of want to show you what the lay of the land looks like these days, as well as share with you a tip for getting the most return possible out of your ads. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. When you are in Ads Manager, so facebook.com/Ads Manager, you can also get there by going on your home screen and clicking on Ads Manager. Both will take you to view like this. Your screen should look something like this. Again, it might be a little bit different, but what we want to do, they created this new kind of like grid format here. This is to view your campaigns. So I'm going to go ahead and click on campaigns. Please note that this is a dummy account of mine from years ago that I don't use anymore. You can see I've got some Facebook Marketplace action going on in here. So anyway, here we are. This is the most traditional view, I would say. You want to get yourself to a view that looks something like this. If you've got a little hamburger menu, you can also click on that too and click on Ads Manager. I've seen the hamburger menu over here on the right-hand side as well for some clients. So anyway, here we are looking at the campaign level, the ad set level, and the ad level. I want to just quick walk you through what this looks like and what each of these mean. So campaign, this is where we're talking about our big objective, whether it be selling a product, growing an email list, maybe you're running ads for a webinar, something like that. Campaign is, what is the big idea? This is where we tell Facebook what we are optimizing for. So in my previous tutorial, I showed you purchases. I was tracking purchases, or maybe you're tracking webinar signups. Campaign is where you're going to tell that information to Facebook. At the ad set level is where we set all of our audience targeting. We set our budget. At the ad level is where we go ahead and we create the actual ad itself. So clicking through this here, and again, they change this often, but the idea stays the same. All right, so here I've got 3 different options, and I've seen on some platforms it pops up a little bit differently, but here we are. You can let them know if you're going for awareness, consideration, or conversion. To be honest, I'm spending I'd say about 80% of my time, I'm running conversion ads, because your conversion would be a purchase, or your conversion could be a webinar sign up, email sign up, etc. I do play a bit within the engagement as well if I have clients who really want engagement on campaigns, or maybe they want like event RSVPs, things like that. So here we are. I just went ahead and clicked through, so you can see it's telling me to name my campaign. I'll just call this test. And if we scroll on down, I'm going to ignore a lot of these options. A lot of these are fancy, don't need to be here options as of right now. I prefer doing a lot of things manually, so they have an option for a test, but I really prefer spending my money where I want to spend it and test what I want to test without having Facebook do that. So here is where you choose your conversion event. So this is where you would choose if you wanted to track purchases, if you wanted to track, email signups to a freebie, whatever it might be. I have a whole different series of tutorials on how you set up those custom conversions. So if you're not familiar with it, make sure you check out my quick start guide, because it shows you exactly how to set up these custom conversions. I'm not going to dive in there today, but if you needed to set up purchase, if you needed to set up something that tracked, email signups, that would be a custom conversion. All right, so then down here within the ad set level, this is where we set our budget. So we've got daily budget, or you can do a lifetime budget. I'm typically running daily for my clients. That way I can scale up much more easily. As the campaign is successful, we can put more money behind it. Start date, end date, pretty self-explanatory. Here we are looking at audience. So this is where you set up all of your audience targeting. Again, I've got oodles and boodles of tutorials on creating audiences and what that all looks like, but all of that can be found within my quick start guide. Here, I'm just walking you through this today briefly. Placements, if you want to play around with placements and only have it go to Reels or only have it go to Stories, you would do it here under Manual. And you can kind of uncheck whatever you don't want it to deliver to. All right, very last part is, so we did campaign level, this is the ad set level, and now we're at the ad level. So this is where you go ahead and you create your ad. Again, I've got tutorials for another day on ad structures, what they can look like, different options, but know that this is where you're making it happen here at the ad level. You can run it as catalog, you can run it as a manual ad. There are so many different options of putting in your text and your placement here. So there we go. All right, so if I were to click publish, then as soon as it is approved, it would be running and ready to go. And I'd also want to make sure that it's connected to my Pixel. Again, this is a dummy account, so it's not sending data anywhere, but that is also imperative. All right, so the very last thing I want to leave you with is how to increase your return on your ads. This is a big one. In my mind, it's important not just to get a return, but your best return possible. And I want to show you just a quick example from another client of mine who we are really big on testing for them. And I'd say one of the biggest mistakes that I see clients make when they're trying to get their ads out there, they're trying to get their best return possible, but they don't know exactly what they're doing. My biggest piece of advice is keep every element the same in your ads and change one thing at a time. So I want you to take a look at this example that I have here. Take a look at this ad copy, the same ad copy, the same ad copy. And actually just look at these first couple ones because this is a slide that I repurposed from something else, but I want you to take a look at these first two slides. All right, so do you see how literally the copy is the same, the copy is the same. The element I'm changing is I wanted to test out and see the impact of an image versus an image with a text box. That's what I changed. Now, disregard, I've got a different headline here because this was part of a bigger test where I was testing out headline too, but I just want to make this kind of as an example to you that what we want to do again is test out, I have the same copy, I'm just changing this. So that's an example of changing one element. Another thing you could do is maybe you want to keep the same copy, but you want to try a video here and a single image here. Another example could be doing the same copy, but maybe you have different headlines, kind of like I have here, and seeing, like, does one of these make someone click more versus the other? So lots of different ways that you can swing this, but I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions or anything else that you'd love for me to cover, hit reply and let me know.